to the Rally in the Valley.
Hey, Mikey here. Welcome to Rally in the Valley, the series where I take rally-tuned cars down my custom rally stage in Forza Horizon 5 to see which car reigns supreme in its PI class. Today, the final class champion will be crowned after an unusual mix of vehicles and the final group of A-class take to the course, going over a bumpy and technical 4.2-mile course to determine who is the champion of A-class rally. The rules are simple. There will be 2 chances to put down a clean time. If you miss a checkpoint and can't make it back before the reset, the run is restarted. If it happens again, that's a DQ. And let's take a quick look at the standings. Outside of a few vehicles in the back of the pack, it is mostly a group with a 10-second spread between first and last, and each day has seen a different leader at the top of the leaderboard. Will that continue in day 4 and the champion come from today, or will the BMW M1 hold on to its crown? We have 6 vehicles to go to find out. And first up, we have the 2014 Ford Pursuit vehicle, LE. It is a sibling vehicle to the next to last finisher in B class, so the Utes are looking to have a little bit of a better showing in A class, and start off the bat, it feels a lot better than the B class one did, but this version is all-wheel drive, whereas B class is rear-wheel drive only, which normally shouldn't be the biggest of issues, but it's Forza Horizon 5 and all-wheel drive tunes are a lot better for off-road, so maybe the A-Class Pursuit vehicle will do a little better, and starting off it really was doing a lot better, both on the tarmac section and in the valley. It is doing very well. No real issues at all to speak of. It is handling very nicely, and it feels like maybe it's been handling a little too nicely, as instead of it's just gliding through the corners, whereas most vehicles it is a lot easier to slide through the corners, get a little sideways. But the Ford Pursuit was definitely not having the issues where it got off course so far. It did not understeer, and it was very steady, very planted. As we go on to the second tarmac section, I mean, there really isn't anything I can add to how this run is going. Under the Dragon, head to the first gravel section. That's maybe the biggest hiccup we've had so far, is just a little bit of understeer and a little bit of an early brake on the gravel section. Just nothing serious. Nothing is really slowing this vehicle down, and to start the run feels very good. As we're about to pass the video board and the quick flick. And again, nothing to complain about, nothing feeling wrong with this vehicle. It's one of those vehicles that could lure you into a false sense of confidence in this run, as again, just a slight loss of grip on that sweeping left, but nothing seriously to complain about, nothing that would really lose you any time. Riding down the dirt section, over the last bump, got that right. Didn't go too far off and didn't let it fly away heading to the hairpin section. Again, this is still a very good time. Just maybe that's the biggest hiccup right there, going wide in the hairpin, but it's really not going to matter. There's really no time lost, and we're going to come across the line, putting down a really good time, 2 minutes 52.257 seconds, which will be the 4th straight day we have a new leader in this competition. And up next is the 1955 Chevy Bel Air, the Hoonigan edition. This car has been raced in a seasonal, and it was not great, so I did a little bit of tweaking to it to see if I could get it to behave, and decided to give it a shot in the competition, and right off the bat I'm regretting that decision. As you can see, no rear end grip in the Bel Air, and I mean, no rear end grip, no real front end grip. It just did some body roll. This car was really all over the place. I don't think there's really anything that could have been done to salvage it to make it competitive. But because it had been raced in an actual seasonal event, I decided to try to give it a chance in this competition. And there's really a lot of holding back. There's a lot of wondering, am I going to make the checkpoint? In that case, no. Just going to slide out wide to the left and have to start over again. So this time I'm trying to get up to speed, but at the same time be very careful with it because this Bel Air does not want to go where it is pointed and told to go. As you can see, again, just losing all grip. I mean, and this isn't, I'm not doing anything extreme driving this Bel Air. It is just that bad. It is just one of those tunes that was done for the competition, tried to clean it up to see if I could make anything half decent of it, and that was, to put it nicely, a failed experiment. As we go into the valley, I'm just a little bit off of where I'd like to be, as in line-wise, but I can't really be on the line because the Bel Air does not even know where it wants to be. I can try my best to put it on the line, and it's not going to go there. As you can see, back end just wants to come around again. Headed down towards the left-hand turn. I'm kind of wondering how this is going to go on, but it actually took the left-hand turn pretty well. It braked well and took the turn well. Unfortunately, that's about the extent of well that is going to happen with this Hoonigan. Well, it is going to do something else well later. It's going to understeer into the wall. And maybe that should have been my clue, that maybe just tank the run, even though I don't really want to do that. I do want to keep it honest, but I almost feel like I should have tanked the run because we are going to have something amazing coming up in just a moment that had not happened across approximately 80 vehicles to this point. But as we're going down the gravel section, it's finally starting to feel maybe the tiniest bit like it is capable, and then all of a sudden it's just going to decide it needs to roll over. First in the competition, a car rolls over. But since it didn't miss a checkpoint, we get reset and back on our way. I already know the time's not going to be good, so I can't even say, okay, I can't even say that I've got to weigh how this is going to be if it's a lead car. I'm just going to go with it and slide right into the anti-cheat pad, which vaults me through the checkpoint as we head into the dirt section. With all the adventure that has gone on, I am just glad to be on the final stretch here. As the car slides wide and just doesn't want to grip. It's funny, I tried to throw it into that left-hand corner. It did not want to be thrown into the corner. Never mind that it's very willing to break grip anywhere else, but we finally get to the final left-hand turn to cross the finish line, and I'm glad this run is done because this is just absolutely bad. 3 minutes 25.457 seconds. That's going to put it 19th out of 21. And up next, we have another Ute. This time it's the 2014 Holden Special Vehicles Maloo, affectionately known as Iron Man, as it is a maroon and gold vehicle, as similar to the colors of Iron Man. It is also very similar in tune and intent to the Ford Pursuit Ute that sits in first currently, but it is a little bit squirrelier So there is more of a chance for things to go awry, but you can see that it is a little squirrelier, a little less planted than the Ford was going through the first tarmac section, and as we turn into the valley, it just kind of lost grip. So shot out a little bit wide, but mostly holding it together okay. Again, very similar, just really mostly the same. It's a heavier vehicle, but it has more power as well. So it really is mostly the same. But it was driving, feeling a little bit heavier. As you can see, again, just another understeer moment going out way wide. It just, even though it's very similar in a lot of ways to the Ford, it was not driving as well as the Ford. And as we get through the dirt section and onto the second tarmac section, again, I'm just worried especially about the back end kicking out, as even though it's an all-wheel drive, this did feel like it really was just not back end stable. It felt like there was really nothing there planting the back end. So as we drive through the blocks and into the second half of the gravel section, we are just having a decent run. It wasn't great, it wasn't horrible. It stayed on all four wheels, unlike the Bel Air, so that's always a plus, I guess. And when you run over 80 vehicles, I guess there is room for everything. But again, the back end just breaks out on it, trying to slow down into that left, take the right, and then take the left again, just trying to give myself a little bit more ability to maybe, I don't know, try to find some room to get around the corner. And I took it a little wider than I thought and ran right into the bleachers that were used as a kind of a track, basically track limits. So Iron Man was a little bit more on the difficult side to handle compared to most, but still it wasn't the worst run. And I'm actually surprised at how well it did. Maybe another run would go better, fix a couple things, but 2 minutes 59.565 seconds. Like I said, not a bad run, going to put the Maloo in 8th. Up next, we have another one of my favorite subclasses or subgenres, the 2005 Vauxhall Monaro, and it is Modern Muscle Rally. And this car really was good in the times that I've used it. It is easy to get a little over aggressive with. So you can see going into the first two corners, it's like, oh yes, this car feels really good, so I'm going to push it to the limits, and that might not be the greatest of ideas. So I did have to back it down a little bit going through the rest of the course, but the Monaro is fast. It's a good A-class rally car. Untraditional package, but good A-class rally. It's nothing really I can complain about. Again, it just feels a little too good at times, so it's easy to push. But as you can see, it's really balancing well. It's not being upset by the course. It's not fidgeting. It just really doesn't get out of sorts, which is very important because there are a lot of areas where the bumps on the course can throw cars, and you have seen them in certain areas. This jump, for example, can throw you really far off course behind those trees. Monaro, very, very nice over it. Nice feeling on the landing. The transition onto the tarmac, really good. There's really nothing negative I can say about this car as we head under the Dragon, heading on to the gravel section, and even early on the gravel section, it's still feeling really good. It's keeping composed. It doesn't want to be thrown. It doesn't really want to be thrown around for the most part, which is very unusual to me at times. At times, that's very unusual to me. But as I get along the course, and I'm just used to the car just holding the course and not trying to do anything crazy. I did get a little too aggressive there again. Didn't let up enough to actually cleanly make it around the corner, and that may come back to bite me, as the run so far is really good. It is on a very good pace, but the Monaro is just up to the task. Heading on to the last dirt section. Just down the dirt path, again, not bothered. Just hits that perfectly, hits that jump perfectly that has sent multiple cars flying off to the right. A little bit early on to the entry into the hairpin section, but not too bad. So really felt like a really good run as we crossed the finish line. And it's going to be a very good run. It's going to be 2 minutes, 53.725 seconds, which is going to put it second. And again, that mishap with the tree may be the difference between first and second. And up next is the 1999 Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 6 GSR, a distant relative to Rally Lancer, and one class higher as well. But these Lancers generally in this competition are good vehicles to run. They do tend to hold the course well, minimal loss of grip, especially with the off-road race tires. But again, that could be a downfall with them, as this Lancer really did feel a little bit too good. So as you can see, I'm all over the place because I've got more confidence in the car than maybe I should to start off with. And I'm trying to basically throw it around, and as you can see, I kind of do get it sideways going into the valley. But as we head down the path, it really felt like it was at home on the dirt section. So that's really helpful, as approximately a third of this is dirt. But again, that aggression is a little too much, and I throw it off to the side, almost sending it for a flight on the anti-cheat boost pads that sit along the right-hand side there. But as we head down towards the left-hand turn, again, just a little too aggressive, trying to push it a little too hard. As the car feels like it can handle it, so it's really not helping my run that I am pushing a car that really is good, and then as you can see, again, just trying to, again, it's just the error of trying to push. As I run it into the big block, and at this point, it would probably have been better for me to, if I had missed the checkpoint, just allow me to get a clean start, and of course there I do miss the checkpoint. I lose grip, go slide behind the shipping container, so that will be a restart. And the second run, I am going to be concentrating on making sure I'm not as aggressive. So basically slowing down a little bit to try to put down a clean run, but still try to get some speed out of it. But this run, at least feel-wise, is a lot better to start. Again, without pushing it too hard and taking it to its limit, it's a lot better. The car is a lot more behaved. The Lancer, again, just gets into the valley section very nicely. Feels good along the path. As we head towards the rock that kind of signals that you're near the exit of the valley. Going around the corner, this time I get it slow down enough and sideways under control enough that I can keep it along the path. And again, hard on the brakes to make that hard left a lot better, as you can see, as I got it slowed up so that way I can actually make the turn. Going into the tree section, maybe hit the jump a little aggressively, but nothing horribly. As we go on to the tarmac section, and the Lancer is again just feeling solid. I can feel that this run isn't going to be the most spectacular, but it is going to be a pretty solid run as we head into the gravel section. I just pushed it again a little too much and almost ended up paying for it in the trees, but did recover well enough to get out of there rather quickly and onto the second half of the gravel section. And the car really, again, the Lancer is just feeling at home on the dirt and the gravel sections, so it's really just the tarmac sections which weren't feeling as great. They're still feeling solid enough, but they weren't feeling as good as the dirt and gravel sections as I slowed down to get around this bend. Go through the last checkpoint before turning into the dirt path for the home stretch. And again, I can feel that this run isn't going to be the fastest, but it is definitely not a horrible run. The car feels good, the car feels solid. Again, just aim it where I want to go and send it as long as I'm not doing anything to cause it to fully break grip or anything. Go around the hairpin. Again, just nice, solid, doing its job as we're about to take the final left across the finish line. And that's going to be a time of 2 minutes 59.031 seconds. So that's going to be a 9th for the Evo 6. The final vehicle up is the 1930 Bentley 8-liter. Definitely not something you would traditionally think that would be a rally vehicle, but surprisingly, you can make the old vehicles work off-road in Horizon. Some of the drawbacks will be the smaller tires, so therefore a lot less grip, higher power, and a very heavy vehicle, as this thing weighed in as one of the heaviest vehicles in the main competition. But as you can see, even though it's not the greatest of vehicles for this, it is a lot of fun to drive, and it's really not that bad. Yes, there was a lot of slipping and sliding, but it does give the feel of the original start of NASCAR when they were moonshine running on dirt roads in the backwoods forest, and it's was really kind of fun to do. So, but yeah, the Bentley really wasn't horrible. I mean, it wasn't the greatest, but for what it is, a 1930, very large, very heavy, very powerful car with thin tires, it really was not bad to drive. It was definitely a handful, as you see again, especially coming out onto the tarmac ends around this corner, as it's just sliding all over the place. But like I said, it was fun to drive, and it's really not doing that badly. Other than the sliding around, it really wasn't that hard to control. I mean, the bumps on the course, anything that could upset the weight, I just didn't do it. Is just the only thing is, with the lack of grip, turning really was difficult. But as we head into the last tarmac section, one of the things I'm actually surprised about is with how little grip this Bentley could have is I haven't missed a checkpoint. And very clean entrance until I got on the gas and oversteered through the corner. This Bentley was a lot of fun to drive as it got way wide. Just, again, lack of grip. But again, fun to drive. It's definitely not near the top of the table, but it could have been a lot worse. But yeah, going through the hairpin, again, not taking it badly for what the Bentley is. And coming across the line a very difficult, very handful run, 3 minutes 7.873 seconds. I mean, that's actually going to beat some cars. That's going to be 20th. As you can see, the DeBerti is the only car not to finish the challenge. The Hellcat, what am I doing here? The Bel Air and really the M3 also were really difficult. You see the Bentley in 20th. A little bit of a surprise that Big Gold is down in 16th, the Durango in 14th, the Peugeot in 13th, Scirocco in 12th. Those really I expected more from. And first, surprisingly, the Pursuit Ute. That was a real surprise. The Monaro in second was a little bit of a surprise, but not much. The 037 and the Sport Quattro being as low as they are, and even though they're near the top, I thought those would be top three cars. But yeah, there's just a lot of surprises, and like I said, especially with the Pursuit winning the A class rally. But that is going to be it for the serious portion of this. I'll be back in about a week and a half with the A class rally replay, and at the end of April, there will be a silly season and whoopsies fixed where some of these vehicles that had bad runs are going to get a second opportunity. So I will see you with both of those in a few weeks. So until next time, have a good one, and I will see you later.